So, welcome to the big one for me, the route for my big challenge this year. In case you are not caught up, this channel exists because I'm a fundraiser. My son has a muscle wasting condition, he's got muscular dystrophy, he really struggles to get around now, he's in a wheelchair most of the time. He cannot do the easy things in life like get out of bed easy, he needs help getting off the toilet frequently, he needs anything carrying for him. It's debilitating and it only gets worse. I do these ridiculous challenges because he can't do the easy things at the end of the day. And when I'm suffering and when I'm struggling, it's because I get the choice to do that and he doesn't. So I'm raising money for stuff for adaptations for the likes of him and the charity that supports him and charities like us. They are Muscular Dystrophy UK. They do a great job in helping people. We're pushing for a cure, basically. The money's going into funding for a cure. We are hopeful that there's something on the way, as everyone is, of course. So yeah, this challenge is the latest and most ridiculous. So yeah, I've put the fundraiser, the crowdfunder. There's a link in the description if anyone wants to put anything in the pot. I'm gonna hurt a lot on this, and every penny that goes into that crowdfunder helps. It really, really does. It matters so damn much to us, and I know quite a lot of people and families that suffer with people with muscular dystrophy, and it changes your life entirely. It really does. So what I'm going to do on this is show you day by day what I'm doing. But before I start, some sort of stats or some rules that I'm trying to stick to. I'm going to be setting off at 6 o'clock every morning. Every day is somewhere around 170 miles, which is 270 kilometers, depending on which metric you want. And I'm aiming for 17 miles an hour, which is around 27 kilometers an hour. If I don't make that, it's not the end of the world, but I've been quite strict. I'm going to have 3 stop-offs, mainly, a day, no more than 20 minutes. I want to be between 10 and 11 hours on the bike a day with 3 20-minute stops, because I need to be done by certain times. Some of these days are a bit crazy, and I'm going to have to remember how it goes. I'm starting on a bank holiday weekend, which is, yeah. It's a need and a must. I have to do. And some of these days I'm still looking for accommodation. Again, I'll put everything on screen. I'm going to go through as quickly as possible to make it not boring. Day one, I'm starting from somewhere called Gunnis Lake, which is near Tavistock. It's just on the west side of the River Tamar, i.e. Cornwall. Shooting across up on to Dartmoor, which is one of Simon Warren's 100 Greatest Climbs. It's one of the originals that's starting my journey, which hopefully doesn't set a precedent for it. You see, over Dartmoor, through the south of Exeter, south of Axminster. I'm trying to avoid big roads. I have to get on some major road between Axminster and Dorchester, on through Bournemouth via Wareham, and then I don't actually finish the day at Lymington. I'm getting the catamaran with my bike over to Ryde, and I'm going to zip onto the Isle of Wight itself, not on the pier, because I don't count that as mainland, so it's not mainland, don't count that as land, so I wouldn't log it as being in a county. Ride back, get the next catamaran to Portsmouth, which is where we're staying on the first night. Let's shut that one. Day 2. Bingo bango. You see, there's a few little loops in here, but I'm doing that to go. It's the county thing, I cannot miss any. Starts Portsmouth, immediately east, through Chichester, turn north up towards Arundel, and you see heading in a general north-east direction, somewhere around East Grinstead, and then up through the Dartford Tunnel. I have to get a lift through there, I'm not allowed to cycle through there, so I'll be doing what I did last time. Through London, again on a Sunday, so it should be lovely and quiet. Sorry, I've got a reflection coming on me. and then up the Edgware Road, angle left under Watford, through past Rickmansworth and finishing just north of Maidenhead. I am struggling to sort accommodation in Maidenhead at the moment because campsites want a 3-night minimum booking and I'm not doing that. So if anyone's got a drive to kip on, we're in the motorhome and hook up to, be much appreciated. Day 3, Maidenhead, along through to Reading, then there's a lot of A4 from there, cuts through Marlborough. I'm gonna stop for a quick moment, hopefully in Devizes, to see my mate Kev, who's put me up loads of times. Through Bath, through Bristol, up over the Severn, again, really looking forward to that. And then a little wiggly bit round here, just to catch a county, and then up to, I think that's around Simmons, yeah, round here, and then banging into Wales. That's the end of that day. I think that is Llantylo Cresceni. I'm gonna have to apologise for my pronunciations. They're appalling, they really are, I am sorry. Day 4, again, start at Llantylo Cresceni, basically due west towards the valleys. Cannot wait to go from there. This is a really hilly day actually. It's, as you see, it's getting towards 4,000 metres of elevation. Straight south towards Cardiff, but don't go in it, fortunately. Cities trying to avoid all points. West Bridgend, and then a lot of coast road through Swansea, Llanelli, and then through Carmarthen and up over mountainous bits towards the coast. And I think the day finishes at Llanrhystud. Again, sorry for the pronunciation, I'm not sure if it's that correct, but that's all I've got to work off. Day 5, from Llanrhystud, long coast road, as you see, and then a cut across to Doroglaw. I'm cutting up through this, the Erie National Park. I think I'm familiar with the roads, I think I've been up there before. Around towards Porthwelly, north to Carnarvon, I have to jump across to Anglesey, because, you know, it's a county and all of that. And then on my way down across here to get into the Shire of the Shrop, and amongst other places. And I finished just south of Wrexham. I can't remember the name of the actual village here, so I'll put it right here. I've got a night accommodation sorted there, so that's all good. Next, day 6. Boom. It's a bit flatter today. I say, well, today. This will be a bit flatter. So you just hooks around the north of Shrewsbury, down to Bridge North, through Womben, England, or the UK's largest village. Around the south of Birmingham, but north of the M42, through Coventry, straight through Coventry. Again, if anyone on any of these routes wants to look at them and tweak them, but not the county borders, let me know. And then I got into Leicestershire through Lutterworth, Wellingborough, and I finished at St Neots on that day, still looking for accommodation again. Sorry if this seems a bit boring, but it's really important to me too. If people want to join me for the day, they're more than welcome to. It's nice to have some company because I've got many days of riding on my own, and having a bit of company is always nice, isn't it? So, what day are we on? Is this day 7? It is. Starts at Neots and back on some familiar territory. Through Ely, where I was a couple of years ago. I actually started at Soham one day. Past RAF, Lakenheath, Mildenhall, cutting back east, through Whittlesea, above Peterborough, into Stamford so I can collect Rutland, and then basically due north to Whitwell via Newark on Trent. Whitwell's a little village between Chesterfield and Sheffield, I think, it's out that way. Yes, that's Chesterfield. Again, I think I'm looking for accommodation on that day. Day 8, this is going to be interesting because I am shadowing the M1 or the A1M, which comes up here. I'm heading over here up into East Riding, and then it's pretty flattish shot through York and north. There's going to be a driver swap. Jacob, who you've not met yet, you will meet him soon, who offered to be my driver for the first week. We're going to do a driver swap at Scotch Corner, but I will not be going there myself on the bike. I will be heading north through Newcastle itself. I'm hoping to pop in to see Cade Media on that day. I've been invited for coffee. If I've got time, I will. Francis, yeah, if the offer's there, I'll come and see you guys. I'm finishing hopefully somewhere around Newcastle Airport that day. Now, it starts getting interesting. Day 9. It's a very easy route. It's a shorter route, this one, as you can see by the mileage, kilometrage, whatever you prefer. But I have to be at Edinburgh Airport by 1 o'clock-ish. It's about 110 miles, or whatever that works out at in kilometrage. It's on the screen. Why am I even telling you? I've got a flight. So if anyone fancies just hot tailing it with me that day, I'm going to be setting off, I think, at 5 that morning, because I have to fly to Shetland. I'm picking up a flight which leaves at 2:30 to get to Shetland, landing at Sumba Airport, and I have the evening to myself, the afternoon and the evening. I'm trying to find somewhere to stay, hopefully it's a B&B, Airbnb, hotel. Hell, if the weather's nice, I might even take a tent or something. I'm not sure what I'm doing. So if anyone's got any ideas on Shetland, give me a shout. The date's there, get in touch. I will there overnight, somewhere to eat, obviously, would be great too. The next morning, I fly from Shetland to Orkney. I've basically put that up as a lap because I've got many, many hours to spare. I've just got to get up, and I think my flight back isn't till mid-afternoon, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, it is what it is. So I've done a little, very loose leg warmer there, just to keep me moving. But the important part about that day is I land in Edinburgh mid to late afternoon, and I've still got 110 kilometres to do. From there, above Livingstone, up north through Falkirk, over that bridge where the 3 is, towards Kinross, and then I finish at a village, or near a village called Strathmiglo. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. Again, I'm really sorry. I'm terrible at this. So that's going to be an evening. It's going to be a day split in 2. Day 11, much easier. Starting Strathmiglo, over the road bridge, which I'm allowed on. There's a cycle path in the middle of this one, and a pair of lifts by the looks of things at Dundee. Up the coast road, through Montrose, Stonehaven, cutting just into Aberdeen County here, where the 3 is. That's a waypoint I've put myself. And then wiggling my way up. I think there's a really steep hill here. There's a 20%er up round to Aviemore. I'm actually potentially stopping a tiny bit before, but I might ride into Aviemore to finish the day before I get a lift back to, is it Cowbridge, where we're staying for the night. Day 12. Again, it's relatively simple. I say relatively. I've got a plane to catch again, so I'm going to have to get a wriggle on. From Aviemore, down the beautiful glens, down to Fort William, cut back across through Glencoe, I think. Is this Glencoe? I might be wrong, correct me. Down past Loch Lomond, I can't wait. And I've got to get to Glasgow Airport. I've got a flight at 6 to catch, so I need to be there for 4:30 really, because I am flying to Stornoway, onto the Hebrides. I won't put a picture up of that day because the next morning starts on Stornoway. Again, I'm looking for somewhere to stay on the Hebrides, Stornoway, on that island. If you're there, get in touch please. Otherwise I'll be in a bus shelter or something. So I'll be flying from there, land at Glasgow Airport at 9:30, hopefully be out quick, get the bike box on the motorhome, and I ride straight to here. This is Cairn Ryan, through through Kilmarnock, Girvan and what have you, and I'm getting the ferry to Larne. It's only a 2-hour ferry or so. It's not going to take me that long. I will get a bit of a rest. But when I get to Larne, I'm going to spend the evening there. Again, looking for somewhere to stay. The motorhome is not coming with me. I'm leaving that in England because it's going to need emptying and stuff, and I won't need it again for the remainder. So day 14, which is, to be clear, yeah, it says on there, Friday the 6th of June, I will have an overnight bag with me with normal clothes and spare cycling gear, and I somehow need to be able to get it from Larne, from wherever I'm staying, to Belfast Ferryport. Hopefully there's a safe locker there while I do this. I need advice as to where to stop to get some food because the motorhome isn't coming with me. So you see it goes through Larne, through Ballyclare, Antrim, Randallstown, into Magherafelt to get and collect another county, then all the way down through Cookstown, 6 Mile Cross, there's some cool names out here, down to near 5 Mile Town, across to Dungannon, to Portadown, Craigavon, and then to Belfast. I'm going to be trying to take it a bit easier this day. Again, it's the same distance as normal, but I think the ferry's not till 10. I'm taking the overnight ferry to Belfast. Reasons for this are because I was going to fly. It was relatively cheap for the flight. Bike box, another 50 quid. Book the seat, another 50 quid. And then I needed accommodation. I couldn't find any for under like 90 quid. And the ferry with a cabin is half of all of that put together. So I'm going to get the overnight ferry to Birkenhead for day 15 and the last and, well, hopefully easiest and most social day. I will be getting the ferry across the Mersey to Liverpool. I've got this slightly wrong the start. It should be up at the ferry terminal. I'm going to be riding down the coast, down into Cheshire, wiggling my way up into Greater Manchester around here. It's still covered out there somehow, don't know how, I'm going to double check that. Up through Preston, towards Lancaster, but I'm taking a right near Fulton. I'm going to actually finish in Kirkby Lonsdale. I'm not finishing in Kendal. I'm finishing in Kirkby Lonsdale because that's my cycling club and that's where I start and end most of my club rides, and they're a great bunch of mates. So anyone wants to join me on that day, it's a relatively easy day. It's only 130k I think. Well, the mileage is there. The distance is there for you all to see. So yeah, and I think I'll be having a pint or two in the Royal Barn. I've actually got the Sunday to relax and do very nothing, because I have to take the motorhome back, but I can't take it on the Sunday, and I need to take that back to Bristol on the Monday. So yeah, I'll be relaxing on the Sunday. So that is my route in total. I'm going to bang the total mileage and elevation on the screen now. Obviously that will change because Strava isn't perfect. Again, if anyone wants to join me and if anyone's got any suggestions for places to stay, I'm using warm showers for some of these already, trying to find more for people to help put us up or to park on their drive with hookup. Again, we do have this amazing motorhome that is being loaned to us from Bailey of Bristol. It would be great. Cheaper, better, because all of this is coming out of my pocket. The flight's being booked today. Terrified. Well, I'll say it's being paid for by myself. YouTube revenue has paid for 70% of this, and that's 6 months worth of YouTube revenue. Yes, I've realised I'd completely forgotten to do an outro for this. Yeah, so basically that's the ride. I've still got ferries and stuff to book, and well, it's train. I'm on actually a lower output week this week, and amazingly, the week I start doing a deload, I get a cold. Brilliant, eh? Anyway, yes, that is it. I hope you can join us. If you can't, fine. Again, the link is in the description for the crowdfunder. Anything that goes in is amazing. Thank you so much for anyone who has already done so. Huge thank you to the sponsors who've helped so far: Wahoo and Hunt, Romney's Kendal Mint Cake, Salici, Shutt Velo Rapide, Lake Cycling, Bailey of Bristol, of course, GPV Bike Fit, and, well, for most comfort levels, FTP Bike Fit, Ryan and Claire there. So I'm gonna, well, go and prepare. More planning to do. More planning. Bye.